cyclone Dana is headed towards the coast of Odisha and West Bengal, and already images coming in of the strong winds and heavy rainfall in coastal parts of Odisha and Bengal. More than 203 trains have been cancelled. Flights to and from the capital cities of Odisha and Bengal have been suspended starting now 6 p.m. to Friday morning as a precautionary measure. The storm will cross North Odisha and West Bengal coast between Puri and Sagar Island. The cyclone Dana is expected to bring heavy rainfall. There's a red alert that's been issued by the Met Department, and it's threatening to impact nearly half of Odisha's population once it makes landfall. So through the night, it's going to be a tense situation in Odisha and also in Bengal. Now, it's largely the impact of Cyclone Dana is going to be felt in parts of Odisha because it's going to be like a multi-hazard situation. Heavy to very heavy rainfall expected, a tidal surge of up to 2 meters. Add to that, of course, the strong winds that a cyclone brings with it. That's why teams of NDRF in both Odisha and West Bengal have been placed on standby. Rescue and relief teams from the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, they're all on high alert.
আপনারা জানেন সুনামি হবার পর আমাদের গভর্নমেন্ট যখন ক্ষমতায় আসে আমরা অনেকগুলো কোস্টাল এরিয়াতে রিলিফ সেন্টার করে দিয়েছি, ফ্লাড রিলিফ সেন্টার। ফলে সেগুলোতে ওঠেন, প্লাস আশেপাশে যত স্কুল বিল্ডিং থাকে, নানা রকম যা কিছু অ্যাভেলেবেল থাকে যেখানে প্রোটেক্টেড থাকবে সেসব জায়গাগুলো করা হয় এবং তাদের দায়িত্ব নিয়ে দেখা হয়। এই পর্যন্ত এখনো পর্যন্ত যেটা আমরা করতে পেরেছি, দুই হচ্ছে সবাই 24/7 হেল্পলাইনও চালু আছে, হেল্পলাইনের নাম্বারটা দাও, হেল্পলাইনও চালু আছে নবান্ন এবং জেলায়।
Okay, let's bring in our reporters from the ground who are braving the current weather conditions to get you a report on what's the situation right now. Anupam Mishra is joining us live from Dhamra in Odisha and Indrajit Kundu from Digha in West Bengal. Indrajit, I'm going to come across to you. We can already see that, the outer bands of the cyclone are touching upon the coastal parts of Odisha and Bengal. Are you feeling the impact of the cyclone? Largely, it's going to be through the night, we understand.
Well, that's right, Akshita. We can actually feel the impact of the cyclone right now as we near towards that dreadful moment when the cyclone will actually hit the Bengal-Odisha coast, because the landfall is going to take place sometime later tonight. And you can already feel here in Digha, which is a very, very popular tourist spot on the Bay of Bengal coast in East Midnapur district, there is strong winds. The wind speed is slowly gaining momentum, and it's increasing with each passing moment tonight. We've just moved away from the sea beach because it's not safe anymore to venture out there. All the lights there on the Digha promenade that have been, switched off. Electricity has been cut off there so that there is no possibility of short circuit. There's very high tide behind us all through the day, and we can expect, very high wind speed as eventually and gradually we move later tonight, because around midnight is when the landfall is going to happen. In West Bengal, of course, as we just had the Chief Minister speak, 1.5 lakh people have been removed and evacuated to safer zones in, districts like East Midnapur, coastal districts, in areas in South 24 Pargana, North 24 Pargana district, and there is expected to be very, very heavy rainfall across South Bengal. There would also be a concern, not just in the coastal districts, but also in Kolkata. And that's precisely the reason why right now all operations at the Kolkata airport have been shut. They will remain shut till tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning. Airlines, flights have been grounded at this point in time. So there is a lot of caution. And what would be interesting to see is that after the cyclone passes and the landfall happens all through the night, what happens tomorrow morning? The aftermath is, of course, going to be very, very crucial.
We're going to hope and pray that it's not as bad as predicted by the Met Department, and that the impact isn't bad on coastal parts of Bengal and Odisha. Anupam Mishra is joining us from Dhamra in Odisha. Anupam, almost half of Odisha is going to be impacted by this cyclone. Take us through the kind of preparations that have been done on ground to ensure minimal casualties, minimum impact on ground.
Well, Akshita, it's a lull before the storm at present, before the strong winds which we were experiencing since the morning have been reduced at present, and it may be that a vacuum has been created before the landfall, because we know that the landfall is set to take place around midnight, and it'll go on for several hours till wee hours of the morning. And every strategic location the teams have been placed, like NDRF and state disaster management, police, every strategic point has been covered, and so far we know that almost 3 lakh people have been evacuated from these coastal areas. And according to Met Department, the landfall will impact most the Dhamra port, where I am standing, and between Dhamra port to Bhitarkonika, that is the place where this landfall will take place. But a lot of people have been evacuated from these places, from Paradeep, from Balasore, from Chandipur, from Dhamra, and from Bhitarkonika. So every agency is on high alert, and every team has been placed under strategic places, and they are all alert. Let's see what happens through the night.
Okay, stay safe out there, Anupam and Indrajit. Thank you for getting us those ground reports. We will keep connecting with you and hope, of course, that you remain safe in the course of your coverage. Let's just get you a quick live tracker for all of you who are living anywhere on the coastal side. You believe the cyclone could affect you. I'll just get you a quick update of where really the cyclone is sitting. This is a live tracker that we have. It shows you the wind speeds and the parts that you see here. I'm just going to zoom in for you as well to show you what really the impact of the cyclone is going to look like. You can see that the outer bands of the cyclone right now are heading towards the coastal areas, largely in Odisha, some parts of Bengal too, that will be affected. Now, this is at 6 p.m. So right now, this is the placement of the cyclone. I'm just going to move that ahead and show you what really it's going to look like at about 12 a.m. because that's when the Met Department says landfall will actually happen. So that's where you see the eye of the storm is actually inland at that point. And here's when you will see the maximum impact in the sense that you will see more rainfall and also wind speeds pick up. So it's unfortunately going to be a long night for people living in these parts of Odisha as well as West Bengal. We will, of course, be tracking the latest updates that come in and hope and pray that the impact felt of Cyclone Dana is minimal. But we've already seen images coming in of heavy rainfall, of wind speeds picking up, and also, of course, the tides in the seas are also surging forward. Let's get you some of those images of the impact felt so far. More than 15 boats have sunk due to the effect of Cyclone Dana in Odisha's Kendrapara. The strong winds has led to high tide, sinking even those boats that were on the shore. The Met Department has issued a warning, a red alert, saying that North Odisha and Bengal coast between Puri and Sagar Island will be hit at about midnight. According to the Met Department, this cyclonic storm will come with a wind speed of 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, could go up to 120. Ahead of the expected landfall of Cyclone Dana tonight, members of the Red Cross Society, other social organizations are evacuating people who are living in vulnerable areas of Dhamra in Bhadrak district of Odisha, which is where the landfall will happen. Elderly, ailing people being brought to the cyclone shelter using a stretcher, as you see there. Safe zones have been established across Odisha and Bengal at Mohana in Diga for fishing trawlers. They've set up a safe spot ahead of the cyclone making landfall. As a precautionary measure, boats at the fish landing center also were anchored. And this is renowned sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik creating a sand art to pray for safety of people during Cyclone Dana at the Puri beach. The sand art, as you can read there, says, "Don't panic, stay safe." Our reporters are on ground getting you every update on Cyclone Dana, as it's expected to make landfall at about midnight, at about 12 a.m.